The Journey of Little Riding Hood, Part 1.
Once upon a time, there was a gentle and lovely little girl. Her grandmother loved her the most and would always save something for her. One time, her grandmother gave her a red velvet scarf. The scarf suited her perfectly, and she liked wearing it wherever she went, so everyone called her Little Red Riding Hood.
Little Red Riding Hood, here is a piece of cake and a bottle of milk. Take them to your grandmother. She is sick and needs to eat to get stronger. Go now before the sun gets too hot. Be good. Don't wander around in the forest, or you might break the bottle and have nothing to give your grandmother. When you get to her room, remember to greet her properly and don't stare around the corners of the house.
I will do everything you told me, Mother.
Her grandmother's house was in the forest, not too far from the village, about a half-hour walk. Little Red Riding Hood entered the forest and met a wolf. She didn't know that wolves were dangerous, so she wasn't afraid.
Hello, Little Red Riding Hood. Where are you going so early, Little Red Riding Hood?
Hello, sir. I'm going to my grandmother's house.
What are you carrying that's so heavy?
It's cake and milk, sir. Yesterday, my mother made some cakes at home, and my grandmother is sick, so I'm bringing them to her so she can eat and get better.
Where does your grandmother live, Little Red Riding Hood?
About a 15-minute walk into the forest. Her house is under 3 large oaks, surrounded by hazel bushes. I'm sure you'll find it easily.
The wolf thought to himself, "This little plump meal will be much better than that old one." The wolf decided to cleverly eat both of them. It walked alongside Little Red Riding Hood for a while and then said,
Hey, Little Red Riding Hood. Look at those beautiful flowers over there. Why don't you take a look around? I'm sure you've never listened to the birds singing so sweetly, have you? You're walking straight ahead like you're heading to school. The forest is very fun, you know.
Little Red Riding Hood widened her eyes and looked around. She saw sunlight flickering through the swaying tree branches, and there were all kinds of fragrant flowers and unusual herbs. She thought to herself,
If I bring a fresh bouquet of flowers to Grandmother, I'm sure she'll love it. It's still early. I'll have plenty of time to get there.
Meanwhile, the wolf sneaked straight to the grandmother's house and knocked on the door.
Who's out there?
It's Little Red Riding Hood. Open the door for me. I've brought cake and milk for you.
You push the latch and come in. I'm too weak to get up.
The wolf pushed the latch and the door swung open. Without saying a word, it went straight to the grandmother's bed and swallowed her whole. Then it put on her clothes, donned her bonnet, climbed into bed, and pulled the curtain over itself. Little Red Riding Hood wandered in the forest picking flowers. After gathering so many that she couldn't carry them all, she suddenly remembered her grandmother and hurried to her house. Little Red Riding Hood was surprised to see the door wide open. When she entered, she felt something was different. It didn't feel as comfortable as it usually did when she was at her grandmother's house.
Hello, Grandmother.
There was no response. She walked to the bed, pulled back the curtain, and saw her grandmother lying there with her face covered by the bonnet, looking very strange. Little Red Riding Hood asked in surprise,
Grandmother, why are your ears so big?
My ears are big so I can hear you better.
Grandmother, why are your eyes so big?
My eyes are big so I can see you better.
Grandmother, why are your hands so big?
My hands are big so I can hold you better.
Oh my, why is your mouth so scary?
My mouth is big so I can swallow you more easily.
As soon as she finished speaking, the wolf jumped out of the bed and swallowed poor Little Red Riding Hood. The story is just beginning. Can Little Red Riding Hood escape the wolf's clutches? And will her grandmother be able to save her? Stay tuned for the next episode.